Beep, bop, bop, bum. I smell the blood of an Englishman. Be he alive or be he dead, I'll grind his bones to make my bread.
Once upon a time, in a small kingdom of tiny cottages, babbling brooks, and rolling hills, lived a little witch. A middle-sized wolf, an absolutely enormous giant. His awesome footsteps echoed like thunder throughout the land.
Long ago, the islands of Greece were an untouched haven. The honeysuckle twined around the great stone columns of the temples, and beautiful gardens filled the air with the heavenly scent. In one such garden in Hesperides was an apple tree that produced fruit of pure gold, and many young men had tried but failed to reach it. An ancient king of Greece, however, had a nephew who was the strongest man in the world. He could lift vats of wine, swallow ship's anchors, and pull articulated lorries up gradients with his teeth. "Bring me 3 golden apples, and you shall have half for my kingdom," said the king, who was a bit of a ham. So off went the lad, slaying any 6-headed dragon that dared to cross his path. In the heat of the day, he reached a cooling stream. Sitting by the stream were 4 giggly maidens, recent arrivals from Luton. "Oh, look at his muscles. Can you direct me to the golden apple tree at Hesperides?" "To what?" "Hesperides," he bellowed. "All right, keep your hair on." They said there was an old man on the beach who might know. So Hercules set off, glad to be away from the impoverished mind of the 4 maids of Luton. And he made his way towards the sea. On the beach was a very old boatman who seemed to have some even older pedalers to rent. "Come in, Omega, your time's up." "Excuse me, but could you tell me how to find the golden apple tree of Hesperides?" "Oh, you are a boat for that. At a steady pedal, that should take a lad of your size about 16 years. Isn't there a ferry?" "Oh, all on strike, mates." "Very well then, I'll take the pedalo. That'll be 9 million drachmas." And so Hercules set off, peddling for all he was worth. After many days, he eventually saw a solitary mountainous island sticking out of the ocean. There appeared to be 2 huge blue columns rising up into the clouds. As he drew up on the beach, he realized the columns were actually the trousered legs of an enormous giant, his head way up in the clouds. "Beep, bop, bop, bum. I smell the blood
of a Herculean man.
Can you show me where the golden apple tree is?
I can't move. I'm holding up the sky, said the giant. If you take over for 10 minutes, I'll go and fetch him.
The giant, who took mile-long steps, could stride across the sea in no time. But how was Hercules to hold up the sky?
Climb that mountain, then you can reach it.
All right, but only for 10 minutes, Sir Hercules, as he clambered up the mountain and manfully took the weight on his shoulders. The sky rumbled in protest as the giant, with huge strides, set off to get the golden apples. Even for a man of Hercules' strength, the sky was very heavy, and he managed to drop a couple of stars, which hurtled down into the ocean with a mighty splash.
Hey, watch what you are doing with my sky,
said the giant as he returned, clutching the precious apples. I'm sorry, I'm not used to it, said Hercules.
Yeah, but you will be after 1,000 years,
said the giant. 1,000 years? You said 10 minutes.
I am not very good at counting.
This was looking bad for Hercules, who already had strained his back at the strongest man contest in the Bahamas. Then a thought occurred to him. If I'm going to do this for 1,000 years, could you let me get comfortable for a second by taking the strain?
Very well. Only for a second,
said the giant, holding up the sky. That's fine then, said Hercules. I'll be off now, and thanks for the apples.
Oi, come back, bellowed the giant. Acropolis, Diophanes, Musaka,
or roughly translated,
you'll be hearing from my solicitor in the morning, which is more than I ever do.
But to no avail, because Hercules had arrived back home and presented the glorious golden apples to the king, who gave him half his kingdom in return and ate the apples. As for the giant, he's still holding up the sky. When he gets fed up, we hear thunder. But he did manage to push a huge rain cloud over Hercules' kingdom, and he kept it there forevermore. So there.